Good morning, everybody. What's happening? I'm Marc. This is the Steven Singer Studios. So I now hate Corbin Burns. I had no reason to hate Corbin Burns before yesterday. I told you originally that I really thought Corbin Burns was going to win the Cy Young Award. And I was like, no, that can't happen because he's not as many innings as Zach Wheeler has. And then sure enough, Corbin Burns wins the Cy Young Award. 10 points. It was a 10-point margin. It's the narrowest margin in the history of the NL Cy Young Award. So there's that. I feel like I know it's not the MVP, but it's the MVP. It's the most valuable pitcher, certainly in the National League. And I really find a hard time arguing anyone's more valuable than Zach Wheeler. So I'm looking at it yesterday, and I thought I saw the tweet from Jeff Passan, who I think does a great job covering baseball for ESPN. And he said, the greatest lie the nerds told you was that telling you that innings don't really matter. And I'm thinking to myself, well, by golly, what the hell then? If Jeff Passan knows, how come other people don't know? And I really feel like they were robbed. Now, or the Phillies were robbed in this. And I really hate that argument because it's our guy, and you can't sound like anything other than a homer when you say that your guy got robbed. But that's exactly what happened. It's frustrating because there's not a lot to take out of this Phillies season, unfortunately. You have a lot to look forward to. They have a new assistant general manager. They have a new director of their farm system. They're going to be bringing in talent, I'm sure. I don't doubt that. Dave Dombrowski seems pretty hell-bent on getting some talent up here. And also, Bryson Stott possibly being elevated to be your starting shortstop to begin the season, which is always great to see a true rookie start out the year. So you cross your fingers that all that comes to fruition. But when it comes to just right now, it doesn't help the good vibes, especially going into possibly hearing whether or not Bryce Harper is going to be the National League Cy Young Award winner, or Cy Young Award winner. Now that'd be something. The National League MVP. We talked about yesterday how Mike Schmidt is going to be delivering that award and presenting that award to whoever it is. And is that a hint that it could be Bryce Harper? I certainly hope so. So hopefully the good vibes keep. Hopefully the good vibes. Well, let's see. They ended last night when Zach Wheeler didn't win, and now hopefully they're back today. That's the way that'll work. Yeah, that's the ticket. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Nice to have you along for the ride here. Appreciate. Let me just give a shout out to our people, Brendan, for instance, that's new on the staff here at the Farzy show. Good hustle to you yesterday. Much appreciated to everybody that's helping us out, getting our new social media up and running and all that stuff. So I just want to give a shout out to our team here. Jim Hyden, of course, as you guys know, PJ, right? Josh Weinfeld, Buzz Sports Entertainment, all the hustle all around for everybody. I got a little something special for you guys today. Darius Slay addressed the media, and I decided after last week's win over the Broncos that we need more Slay in our lives. So we're going to have a little bonus Slay today. It's 2 minutes worth of Slay. I feel like you need 2 minutes of Slay every day. So we'll get to that a little bit later as he addressed the media yesterday with nothing but pure poetry from our man Darius Slay. So we got plenty of him there. We got Nick Sirianni addressed the media yesterday. And I know how Nick can be a little boring at times. But at this point, he has something very important to talk about. And that's how they're going to use Miles Sanders. And my argument for Miles Sanders in this offense has been I can't wait to see what he does in a run-first offense. And this seems to be right now a run-first offense. That's the way they've been over the last 3 games. So I look forward to seeing how that comes to fruition. But I want to see not just how Miles Sanders does in this, but how they use Jordan Howard and how they use Boston Scott. And the guy that I have told you that I am saying we'll use you when we need you is Kenny Gainwell. How all of a sudden that rookie jumped up like he was a first-round pick when he is not at all is beyond me. I just don't get it. And not having Jordan Howard on the active 53-man roster to start the season is mind-numbing to me, but that's the way the Eagles decided to go. So Nick Sirianni addressed the media yesterday to talk about where Miles Sanders is going to fit into all of this. And he also talked about whether or not you can lose your job due to injury. Like, has Miles Sanders lost his starting job due to injury? I say that's ridiculous. There's no way, shape, or form that should happen. And our guest today, Zach Berman actually asked head coach Nick Sirianni about that yesterday, and this is the way Nick Sirianni answered that question.
Is that something you've thought about? What's your philosophy on that?
Again, I know how good of a player that Miles Sanders is, and looking forward to getting him back in there and getting him carries, and just a really good job by Jordan and Boston and Kenny, like I said, of filling in. I think that changes. That's different based off of different situations. Like if Miles is healthy and ready to go, he's our starter. But that doesn't mean that every situation equals the same thing, right? Because every situation you have to be able to adjust and you have to be able to do things, and every situation does have different circumstances and different thought processes behind it.
That's what I want to hear. That right there is exactly what I want to hear from the head coach. You can't lose your job, basically, but everything's different. Like if it's a quarterback, for instance, like if you started the season with Joe Flacco, all right, and he's your starting quarterback, and Joe gets hurt and he misses a couple of weeks, and Jalen Hurts comes in, and then all of a sudden he's lighting the world on fire. Yeah, you're going to assume that you're going to have Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback. So that's the exception to the rule. But I think you know how good Miles Sanders can be. And if you're going to have a run-first offense, I think you know how valuable he could be in that run-first offense. The only thing with Miles, and we've talked about this through many times with different reporters that have been on the show and all, is that Miles needs to hit the hole. No dancing behind the line of scrimmage. No going for the home run every single time. Hit the hole. Get you them yards. When it comes to guys like Jordan Howard, they're just hitting the hole. That's all they're doing. There's a huge gaping holes up there in the offensive line, thanks to what Lane Johnson has been doing, thanks to what these guys have been doing up front. Landon Dickerson, Jack Driscoll, all these guys, what they've been doing up front. So hit the hole. That's all you got to do. Very simple. In years past with Miles Sanders, it seems more and more like where now you've been getting Jordan Howard to give you 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 10 yards, and stuff like that. It seems like Miles Sanders, it's more like 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, 25 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, 30 yards, 1 yard, no gain, -1, 30 yards. Like, that's the kind of give and take of Miles Sanders because he is a home run hitter. But when you use that expression in baseball, I'm going to apply it to the same thing in football, which is home runs should be accidents. And every time a running back tries to reach for a home run or overswing, in this case, bounce it to the outside, they end up taking a loss, striking out, if you will. So just take what's there. Take what's in front of you. Get that good pitch to hit. Let the offensive line do that for you. And the home runs will come there, Miles Sanders. I feel like he could be electric, and he is an electric player. But in this particular offense where you're actually running the football as often as they are, I can't remember. I think you got to go back to the 90s, like Rich Kotite. And I think you got to go back to Ray Rhodes. They're going to go back to Ricky Waters and all that. To really think about this team running the football as much as they are right now. And that's a million years ago, it feels like. So I just want to see how it plays out. I want to see how they call the games. I want to see the same type of mentality applied, even against the Saints. Like people said, you can't run against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a good defensive coordinator in Todd Bowles. It's a good scheme against the run. It's a good defensive line against the run. You can't run. They ran in the second half, and they had success in the second half. You can run against this team, especially when, and I'll drill this into their heads for as long as I possibly can, especially when running the football still presents the best version of you as a team. You still got to do it. So that's what Nick Sirianni had to say about Miles Sanders. And the key phrase in all of that is that when Miles Sanders is healthy, he's our starter. And he blanket statement. He was asked about whether or not Miles Sanders would be able to play Sunday, whether or not he expects him to play, whether or not there's a chance. That was the terminology there by our friend John McMullen. Is there a chance that Miles Sanders play? And the reaction from Nick Sirianni was exactly what you want. It was, oh, yeah, there's definitely a chance. Thank you. All right. We can look forward to that. Hopefully the old three-headed monster that we referenced yesterday on the show. The maturation process of Jalen Hurts is a huge talking point this season, as one would assume when you're talking about a young quarterback coming into his own, is whether he's a franchise guy forever or he's the guy that's just going to be running the offense right now and maybe next year. Jalen Hurts has done a great job. Now, Les Bowen asked a phenomenal question during the press conference, because last year, if you remember, Jalen Hurts' first start was against the New Orleans Saints. I always thought that was hilarious. Hey, have at it, fella. Dude, here's the Saints in the Superdome. Go enjoy yourself, friend. Well, now Jalen Hurts is starting against those New Orleans Saints, a little bit of a different team. Trevor Siemian's the quarterback this time around, so it's a little bit different. And one of the things Les Bowen asked Nick Sirianni yesterday was how Jalen Hurts has changed as a quarterback from last year to this year. What type of quarterback is Jalen Hurts right now versus his first start, 14 starts ago now, in the NFL? What type of quarterback is he? Here's how Nick Sirianni handled that one.
But what you see here now is him making great checks at the line of scrimmage to get us in and out of plays. So that's a development of a quarterback that you want to see because he's your coach on the field. And then you see, I think I mentioned this the other day, that play that he had to Goddard where he stepped up in the pocket. I think even 3 weeks, forget New Orleans last year, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, he's going to run that football. And he might get 10, and he might shake the guy off and get 15, and he might get 20. But he got 24 when he stepped in the pocket, and I've seen him with that play in the pocket go up with one hand. Well, I saw him push up with two hands and find the ball because he doesn't know where those hands are coming. And that's the ball security thing that we've continued to emphasize, that he's continued to emphasize of getting better at. So there's a lot of examples, Les, of how he's different and since I've been here. And it's a tribute to Jalen first and foremost, that he's the type of player that wants to get better, that wants to be great, that wants to be the best, and he's willing to do anything he can to accomplish that.
That's all you want to hear about a starting quarterback. He's willing to work his butt off, especially when it comes to a young guy like Jalen Hurts trying to work to improve his game and become more all around, whether it's protecting the football, knowing when to run. Because as we've seen with many very athletic quarterbacks, there's a couple of things that go on here. And Carson Wentz used to do this, and it drove us all nuts. Yeah, I mentioned his name. Deal with it. Anyway, Carson Wentz would do the thing where he'd run and not slide. He'd run, keep running, and take a hit. And we're like, what are you doing? Stop doing that. Jalen Hurts, he runs, he slides. He runs, he gets out of bounds. He runs, he dives head first. Like he's a smart quarterback when it comes to that. But one of the things I've seen him get out smarter at is exactly what Nick Sirianni just talked about. Controlling the pocket and protecting the football. When he's under duress, he doesn't just hit the panic button right out of the gate and go, all right, it's time to take off. As Nick Sirianni just said with that throw to Goddard, which is also, by the way, the throw that Goddard got hurt on. And you see Jalen Hurts step up in the pocket, deliver that throw. Our friend Dan Orlovsky just broke that down for you yesterday as well, saying that this might be the best throw of Jalen Hurts' career. Stepping in the pocket, delivering a strike to Dallas Goedert, who was crossing the field. That's what you want to see from a quarterback. That's when you really know a guy is growing and maturing and understanding everything that's happening in front of him. Because when we talk about athletic quarterbacks, when we talk about really athletes in general, what really makes athletes special isn't necessarily their athletic ability. It's what they can do when they process the information in front of them. Like a lot of guys can go out there and run a 4.3 or 4.4 40, right? They can do the athletic intangibles that are there, but the way they process the information in their brain is ultimately what makes them incredible athletes. And if you see a guy mature and you see a guy continue to grow and improve in that manner, it gives you a lot of hope for the future. And that is what Jalen Hurts has been doing over his last 14 starts, especially this season. And I've referenced it many times. You've talked about guys where you start to see whether or not Jalen Hurts in particular is climbing that mountain or is he falling down the mountain? Is he falling down in the valley of, just being insignificant? Now he's climbing that mountain this year. And I am here for it every step of the way. So that's great to see from Jalen Hurts. Now, how is Jalen Hurts doing this? How is he improving? Is he watching film on other quarterbacks? Is he trying to absorb different information about what other quarterbacks have done? How has he improved over his last 14 starts or his first 14 starts in the NFL? Well, he was asked that question by Jeff McClain yesterday of Inquirer.com about who he tries to watch and study so that he himself can become a better quarterback. Here's how Hurts answered that question.
I watch the greats. I love good football play. I love great football play. I love watching Peyton Manning and seeing what he has to say. The detailed episodes he makes, he actually sends them to me. And having a relationship with him, I enjoy that. Meeting Teddy Bridgewater in person. That's a guy I watched coming out of high school. We was at Louisville, and then obviously seeing him going to Minnesota, and just a ton of respect for him and the things he's overcome. And the player he is. I met Cam this year for the first time, a guy that everybody watched as a kid. Electric player at Auburn, and he's had a great career in the NFL. So many great players. I just try and be a sponge to it all.
I didn't know. We all knew about Cam Newton, that he really admired Cam Newton. You knew that in the offseason and training camp when they had a chance to meet and talk, they had messaged each other, but they finally got to meet, right? And I had known that. I didn't know anything about Teddy Bridgewater and Jalen Hurts, which is fine. And I sure as damn well did not know anything about him and Peyton Manning. And they're texting each other. Peyton Manning sending him plays, but breakdowns. Okay. Peyton Manning wants to be assistant to the regional quarterbacks coach. By all means, if it's our guy, go ahead. I'm sure Jalen Hurts isn't the only guy that Peyton Manning is doing that for. But to hear Jalen Hurts has had a good relationship with the Manning family, okay, all right. To hear that Peyton Manning is sending Jalen Hurts plays, all right. Keep on learning, young fella. Keep on getting better. Whoever you can hear it from, your coaching staff, greats that have played the game, go for it, man. Love hearing that. I didn't know that before yesterday's press conference. And it kind of came out of nowhere. Like I said, Jeff McClain asked him a question about who he studies. I mean, not for nothing, I don't look at Jalen Hurts and his style of play and go, oh, yeah, he's taking off just like Peyton Manning did. Like, that doesn't really jump to mind. It's really wild. And to be honest with you, I don't look at his style of play and look at see Cam Newton either. I feel like he is becoming a very comfortable pocket passer, ball protector, and a very skilled runner. I feel like that's what he's becoming. And I can't say this enough. For the people that say, oh, Jalen Hurts can't throw the deep ball. I'm telling you, people aren't making that argument if Jalen Reagor doesn't run out of bounds against the 49ers, if Devontae Smith doesn't run out of bounds against Kansas City Chiefs. That argument doesn't exist. If Quez Watkins brings that ball down in the end zone against the Broncos, those are 3 45 to 60-plus pass plays that people are not really bringing up, or at least they are bringing up to talk about what a great arm he has if those wide receivers make good plays on the football. All of those are deep balls, by the way. That's the way I see it right there. I can already tell how much the chat is hopping today. God bless you people. You guys are awesome. Before I get to our guest today, Zach Berman from The Athletic, who does a phenomenal job. Darius Slay is a gift, people. And I know he's a big money corner, and I know that he was, one of the best corners in football when he came here. And I feel like once that happens, people rush to say, Nnamdi Asomugha, or they rush to say Byron Maxwell, or Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, DRC. Yeah. People rush to that. But I think even in his worst game, the man was right there to make a play. Unfortunately, he didn't. It wasn't like he was burnt as all get out, and he was supposed to have over-the-top safety help in one of those plays, the deep ball, the 49-yard pass against the Chargers against Mike Williams. He was right there. It wasn't like he got embarrassed. So that's the way that played out, unfortunately. But I really like me some Darius Slay. So after the Broncos game, I played for you guys 2 minutes of Slay. So whenever I have an opportunity to slay it, I try to slay it. So right now, let's slay it. 2 minutes of our man Pots and Pans big play slay. The first 2 minutes, he's talking about being Defensive Player of the Week, the honor he got named yesterday. So there you go. Without further ado, let's slay it with Slay.
That's good. It's a blessing to be on that list. I felt like I should have won it twice. This would have been the second time right now. I should have won in Carolina, but it's okay. It's all good. But like I said, I appreciate being on that list, man. A lot of great guys be on that list, and I just kind of keep building from that.
Are you going to start asking for reps at returner now?
I've been asking that since I've been a rookie, and coaches even when I was in Detroit, they didn't believe in me to do it, but I can do it. I make stuff happen when I get the ball in my hands. But I'm just taking my job seriously first. So I'm gonna be a corner, man. I love playing corner, but they throw me a receiver to catch me a little bubble or a slant, man. I'm trying to take it to the crib.
The video of you and Devontae squaring up there. Can you break that film down?
This is how it went. I won 2 out of the 3 times we did it. You know, he keeps talking about, oh, he wasn't ready. When they do go no huddle, I wasn't ready sometimes, and he catch the ball, and he counted as a win against me. So he wasn't ready. I was ready. So I broke loose. If the ball was there, I would have caught the ball. But if we had the ball, I would have been 3-0. But just because he had a good release on good coverage on the last one, I gave him 2-1.
So along those lines, you probably saw his PPU.
Yeah, I told him. He said he played safety before, so he should. He got good. He's an athlete. Honestly, man, he's a great athlete, man. He could do both sides. Honestly, I think he can. He's competitive. So I know if the ball was up in the air, I knew it was gonna be a pick because if he can make a play on it, he's gonna make a play on it for the defense can't catch it.
What was your view of his 36-yard touchdown catch that he made him down?
I loved it. I told him, man, that's what you gotta do. You gotta top him on top of his head. Got to get it right over on this guy. So they got a good they familiar with each other, man. On this old teammate. Two great players, man. Definitely, that guy was in the best position he could possibly be in, Patrick. And he just who wanted the more at that time, and Devontae wanted the more at that point. And both two good players, man, competing at a high level.
Did you really expect anything else? Did you expect anything else from Darius Slay when he was asked about winning Defensive Player of the Year, and he goes, or Defensive Player of the Week? He goes, "Yeah, I think I should have won it twice." Like, no, there's no other way to answer that question if you're Darius Slay. Absolutely love that. Love that attitude. Love that he and Devontae Smith have this little rivalry, which it's what you want. If Darius Slay is one of the best corners in football, and Devontae Smith is your up and coming wide receiver, and as far as he's arrived. He's here. He made that catch over Patrick Surtain in the end zone against the Broncos. And like I told you, that's a play by a man. He went up and caught that football. He got that football. He won that 50-50 battle. That's a play made by a man. And they got the other touchdown later. And then, boom, 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 boom. Let him hang out. Marbles. That's what I want. I want to see Devontae Smith and Darius Slay battle it out every single day at practice. And I want those two to have a nice little friendly rivalry to make each other better, especially Slay making Devontae Smith better. And, I don't feel like that was enough Slay. Did we slay it enough? I don't think we slayed it enough. Can you ever slay it enough? No, I think once you slay, you just want more Slay, right? So, in addition, here is Slay talking about trying to win at home, something the Eagles haven't done for us yet this year. Check it out.
Yeah, it's been a lot of talk, man. We be looking back at it, man, like, man, we need, the fans deserve a win. And we know we do. We've been close at home, man. But as we look at it, a lot of the home games been real tough, as in teams. We had Tampa, freaking Kansas City. We played probably 3 of the 4 last teams that went to the Super Bowl. And so we just, we just got to win. And that's what we want to do. Definitely at home, man. You got to defend home. And, shoot, that's our goal this week.
Who first called you big play?
My coach Coach Collins. He's the head coach right now at Georgia Tech. And he gave it to me right when I first got to Mississippi State, man. He said, man, you should be big play Slay, because I came into camp literally a week into camp probably like with 10 picks. Like going crazy. I like, it's the SEC. The SEC trash. And I was going crazy.
Does anyone call you big play?
Yeah, that's either be big play or Slay. If I hear the D name, I got a problem.
Not Mr. Sexy? I thought Mr. Sexy.
That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's when I get swagged up, put my ice on, get swaggy for the plane. Yeah, I'm Mr. Sexy then. But game day, I'm big play.
Anybody that refers to themselves as big sexy, yeah, good for you, man. There's nobody's gonna refute a big sexy. You call me big sexy, like Bartolo Colon, least sexiest human being maybe in the history of the world, not just like sports, but he was big sexy. He went by big sexy, so therefore he was big sexy. Nobody says if you're big sexy, I don't think you're really big sexy. Well, I don't really see it, but. So therefore, you're not big sexy. No. If you got the confidence, the swagger, or the drip to be big sexy, then by all means, big sexy, have at it. So Darius Slay, big play, Mr. Sexy, big sexy. There you go. Congratulations on that. Something else. I like the idea of the SEC just being trash because he had 10 picks in the first week of practice or whatever it was. That's pretty wild. Look. We're going to get a lot of the X's and O's tomorrow when it comes to this game against the Saints. Alvin Kamara took part a little bit in practice yesterday for the Saints. We'll see whether or not he's going to be ready to go. We'll obviously see whether or not officially Miles Sanders is ready to go for the Eagles. But here's all I want to see. And Jonathan Gannon didn't tip his hand at all when he addressed the media yesterday. But one of the things he did get into was that they really do that much stuff that was different as far as being aggressive. They just got home when it came to sending blitzes. They got home when it came to trying to get after the quarterback. Hopefully they do the same thing against Trevor Siemian and try to rattle him, because here's what I noticed with Trevor Siemian. He's really good at playing from behind. Like, he's really good at playing catch-up. He's not really good at establishing a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not good at controlling a football game. And remember, a couple of years ago for the Broncos, he was putting in some good numbers. This time around, decent backup. Eagles can get up on him early and score often. This game could be wrapped up by halftime. That's how confident I am going into this game right now. So we'll see how that plays out. But that right now, that's the way I see it playing out. That's the game plan that has to be installed if you're this Eagles team, is to be able to get after Trevor Siemian, force him into mistakes, because you can certainly do it. He also had a really bad fumble before trying to come back against the Falcons a couple of weeks ago. Didn't work out for him, but he had a fumble that put him in a bad spot. Maybe you could force him into doing the same type of thing this time around. So I'll cross my fingers for that. We're going to get a little bit more detail on what could happen this weekend from our friend Zach Berman when he joins us coming up in just a minute. But let me tell you about my friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. I hate Steven Singer. With all the shipping delays and fulfillment issues expected for the holidays, Christmas shopping has come earlier than ever this year. Luckily, Steven is giving every other jeweler another reason to say, I hate this guy. Steven Singer Jewelers is the number one. That's right. They got the number one gift this holiday season. Diamond stud earrings. Talking about that ice? Slade's just talking about that ice? How about these ice right here? Steven's got fully stocked, beautiful, best value, real diamond studs. Anita cut diamonds, ladies and gentlemen, under $270. Sound familiar? That's the same price as last year. He's not trying to jack up the prices this year to try to really gouge it. No, not at Steven Singer Jewelers, because that wouldn't be the perfect price, which you get every single day. No sales, no discounts, no BS. Steven's real diamond studs are flawless to the eye, near colorless, and come with his famous full-value lifetime trade-in guarantee. You can trade up your diamond studs anytime and receive exactly what you paid towards a new pair. And all that, no risk shopping for the holidays. Can't get much better than that. Go now to IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Always fast and free shipping at IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price, the perfect price every single day. IHateStevenSinger.com. Without further ado, let's jump on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to one of my favorite people to talk to. From The Athletic, our good friend Zach Berman joins the show. Joining us right now, the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line from The Athletic. You know him, you read him, you listen to him, especially not just with The Athletic, but you listen to him with The Athletic. Birds with Friends, which is one of the greatest names for any podcast ever in the history of podcasts. Zach Berman joining the show. What's up there, Z-Berm?
Hey, doing great. Thanks for having me on.
So where did the Birds with Friends come? Who named the show?
So it predates me. That's Bo Wolf and Sheil Kapadia, my two colleagues on the show. They were a two-man group, and then they let me come on as the third wheel in 2019. So we have fun with it, but I can't take any credit for the name or for the shenanigans on the show. I kind of show up, and Bo puts me in awkward spots, and we have fun with it. So.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Zach, I got to figure this out, and I'm trying to do this, and I played a cut earlier, Nick Sirianni, the question you actually asked him about
a poorly worded question, by the way.
What's that?
A poorly worded question, but go on.
No, not at all. Not at all. But you asked him basically about whether or not a player can lose his job when it comes to an injury. A guy like Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard's playing really well, Boston Scott's playing really well. Let me ask you the question. How would you organize this running backs room right now with Miles Sanders potentially coming back for this weekend?
Sure. I would make Miles Sanders the starting running back still. I still think he's the best running back on the team. He's the most talented, and he wasn't playing poorly before the injury. And frankly, the Eagles are playing a different style now than they played when Miles was healthy. So I would have Miles join and play this style that the Eagles are playing. That said, I wouldn't ignore what's happened these past 3 weeks. Jordan Howard's a productive running back. Boston Scott has been productive for them. You saw in 2019 the way Sanders and Howard can complement each other. I would try to tap into that. So that means Sanders doesn't have the same role that he had before the injury. He'd still be the starting guy. one person would need to kind of take a back seat. That would be Kenny Gainwell. I don't think I wouldn't give Kenny Gainwell the amount of reps that he's had, but I would have a three-man backfield with Sanders as the lead back, but I would very much make it a committee backfield.
I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm on the same page as you, my friend. And I quoted this a while back. I want to say it was against the Dallas Cowboys. And it was the story that you and your Birds with Friends co-hosts put together. And that was a story that came out last year, or really in the offseason going into this year, talking about how Jeffrey Lurie was always asking questions about why you're running so much, especially against that Green Bay game, in 2019 when he was asking Doug Peterson, why'd you run the ball so much? And Doug Peterson basically said, well, it was working. So then they hand the ball to the running backs twice against the Cowboys in the first half. And I kept hearkening back to that great piece in The Athletic by you and Bo and Sheil. And I can't help but notice now it seems like a complete change in philosophy, where the Eagles seem to be a run-first team over the last 3 weeks.
Sure.
Why do you think that's been, or there's been an about-face in philosophy when it's come to this team?
Yeah, I think what happened really was during that mini bye week, if you will, after that Tampa Bay game, they had a chance to kind of take a step back and assess it. And I think they looked at their roster. They looked at A, who their quarterback is, B, what the strength of the offense is, which is the offensive line. And they tapped into that. And they started it. They wanted to do it in the Vegas game. Didn't really go the way they did just because of the game script early on. But they were trending in that direction. And then it's been working these past 3 weeks. And I give credit to Sirianni because, look, if I was a head coach, I would be throwing the ball. That's, in my opinion, the surest way to win. Or that's the best way to win. That's the best possible outcome. What's the expression? That the ball moves faster in the air than on the ground?
Yeah.
It's true. That said, I think Sirianni looked at what he has here, and he's trying to maximize what he has. He's trying to win with this quarterback, with this offensive line. And it's been working. They've won 2 of 3 in the game. They lost on the last second field goal, and the offense is getting much better. So is it sustainable? We'll see this weekend against the number 1 ranked running defense, right? But I do think that they have a better chance of being successful as an offense when they're getting productive yards on first down, when the offensive line can be playing the way they are, when they're leaning on that group as opposed to the other way around.
On the other side of this, talking about that passing game, how would you evaluate Jalen Hurts to this point?
He's improving, which is a compliment. I really mean that. If this season is about evaluating Jalen, or a big part of the season is about evaluating Jalen, you don't want to see him regressing. You don't want to see him stagnating, and he is progressing. And that's a credit to him. That's a credit to the coaching staff. There are throws that he's missed, right? If you think 2 weeks ago, the Chargers game, he missed some throws that they needed him to hit. Mm-hmm. That said, the first half that he played in Denver was the best that he's played since he's been in an Eagles uniform. There's nothing bad I can say about him, and there's a lot good I can say about him based on the way he played in the Denver game. Now, he needs to sustain it. He needs to continue to improve. But the best thing I can say about Jalen Hurts is that week to week, you were seeing him make those strides, and that's what they needed him to do this season.
As you were saying earlier, talking about Jalen Hurts helping his own cause throughout this entire season and whether or not he's Mr. Right as opposed to just Mr. Right now with that age-old question.
I like that expression.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I think he has done more to climb the mountain as opposed to fall down the mountain, if you understand what I'm saying.
I do. And I know, too, that it's all within the context of should he be the guy here beyond the season. And the way I would answer that is he needs to be better than the alternative. And right now, I can and look, I haven't studied all the college draft quarterbacks yet, but watching games on Saturdays, seeing what this class is, I would have more confidence right now going another year with Jalen than swinging on a quarterback with a high first-round pick. Conversely, if you feel you can get Russell Wilson, if you feel you can get a top of the league quarterback, that's a different conversation. But I would have no objection based on what I've seen so far to roll with Hurts for another year and see what you can do with him because he is progressing and he brings a lot to the table. And I think the coaching staff is finding ways to win with him.
Zach, I can't believe what I'm hearing here. First off, I love what you're saying about Jalen Hurts. Love every second of that. You talked about a three-headed monster in the backfield. I'm going to try to push now for something else. Dare I say, do the Eagles have a linebacker in TJ Edwards? Do the Eagles have a linebacker in Davion Taylor? Do the Eagles have multiple linebackers all of a sudden? What's going on there in the linebacking core?
Well, to go back to our previous question, that's Mr. Right Now. Okay.
Oh.
The linebackers are Mr. Right Now. The linebackers
Gotcha.
aren't Mr. Right.
Okay.
I mean, TJ Edwards is a fine player, and I think he's doing a decent job. I'm not building my defense around TJ Edwards.
Yeah.
Davion Taylor has tools, and he is improving. And credit to them for playing him because the only way Davion was going to improve was by being on the field. So credit to them there. That said, for this defense to be what it needs to be, they're going to need to upgrade at linebacker. I still feel that way. But they can get by this season with this group if Gannon kind of schemes around them, and I think he'll continue to do so.
On that note, I feel like, and I'm on the same page with you again as far as Sirianni goes and his improvement as a game planner, as a play caller as well. Has Jonathan Gannon turned the corner as well? Is this Broncos game a taste of more things to come when it comes to being aggressive and designing a little bit more different blitz patterns or schemes?
Well, I know I'm in the minority here, but I don't think Gannon was as much a problem as maybe fans thought he was, or I guess made him out to be.
Okay.
Right. Look, they had ugly games against top quarterbacks. I can't defend that, and that's the absolute truth. And he did need to be more aggressive with coverages and with his front. But what they've done against middle-of-the-pack quarterbacks or below-average quarterbacks, this wasn't just the Broncos game, right? You saw them do this. You saw them do this in Carolina. You saw them do this in Detroit. You saw them do this in San Francisco. I think Matt Ryan's a better quarterback than he played in Week 1, but they did that in that game. Frankly, they've had – and I'll add this. When you look at what's left on their schedule, it's a lot more quarterbacks like the bottom of the league than the quarterbacks that's at the top of the league. So I think you're going to see more of what you saw. I still think this defense is going to be susceptible against top quarterbacks based on the way they play coverage. If their defensive line doesn't come home, it's going to be a long day against this defense. But when they play against Daniel Jones, when they play against Taylor Heineke, when they play against Trevor Siemian this weekend, I think this defense is going to be much better than their reputation suggests, because I think this defense is better than their reputation suggests.
In the early goings here, are you feeling a win on Sunday? Or can I at least get that much from it? Are you feeling a win against the Saints?
So it's still early for me. I haven't dug too much into it, but sure, why not, right? For the sake
I'm sold. I'm sold.
I suppose I'm playing to your audience here, but I think the Eagles have a lot they need to do better on both sides of the ball. But this defense is going to give them a big challenge. They're not going to be able to run the ball as easily. They're going to need Jalen to play the way he did in the first half. Jalen's going to have to make some tough completions. And if Dallas Goedert's not out there, we'll see what happens. He's still in the concussion protocol, so it's out of the team's hands there. But if Goddard is not out there, that really hamstrings the offense. That said, I think this defense is going to make it a tough day for Trevor Siemian. I think they can win an ugly game. I don't know if I would throw all the chips on the table on that one. Yeah. But I feel better about the Eagles in this game, for instance, than I did some of these previous home games they've had.
Next time we check in with you, I'll make sure to get your Sixers prediction as well. But I'm going to remember this about your linebacking, how you broke down the linebackers. It was like, you're setting up a buddy with a girl that and he's like, hey, what's she like? And your first thing is like, she's really nice. Like, that's not, it's kind of what we're saying about these linebackers. Zach Berman.
But I'll say this: really nice is better than what we've seen in the past. Like, there have been linebackers where if it's like if you're setting your buddy up, you say no, stay away, don't go on that date, right? This one, like, go have a good time, but don't marry her. That's what I would say. Yeah. So.
He just got out of a really bad toxic relationship, and this is what he needs. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if this season continues the way it's gone, then we're all going to be happy if the Eagles make the playoffs. That'll be great. Just giving meaningful games in December. If it doesn't, or really either way, buy Zach's book, Underdogs, relive the magic of that Super Bowl run from a couple of years ago. Make sure you guys buy that book, available on Amazon. You can see it right there. Underdogs. Zach Berman, The Athletic, and Birds with Friends podcast. Thanks so much for joining the Farzy Show, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Zach Berman joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. My thanks once again to Zach Berman for joining the show. I just saw in the comments, Underdog's book. The Underdog's book is a great bathroom book. I haven't thought about a good bathroom book in a long, long time. I will say the greatest bathroom book ever, I feel, was Big Daddy Graham and Glenn Macnow's Book of Lists. That was an easy read. But now we're all on the phone. You ever forget your phone going to the bathroom? What the hell do you do? How am I going to kill my 45 minutes? And eventually hear my wife go, where are you? Where are you? I'm having my me time, babe. Why don't you relax? I don't know if you know this, fellas. Women love it when you tell them to relax. Got to have my me time. Thanks to Zach Berman for joining the show. Much appreciated, as per usual. He's brought to us by the great people at Rothman Orthopaedics. If you have an orthopedic issue, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics. You need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can have the confidence to get past the pain and be what you were. Visit them in one of their 30-plus locations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, including 4 orthopedic-only urgent cares. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. Up late last night watching some NBA. You know why I was doing that? Because, ladies and gentlemen, little BetQL. That's right. Little betting research. Was hitting on some overs and some unders, as a matter of fact. When it came to the NBA games last night that were on ESPN. Here's how you do. You do the research with BetQL. You download the app, and it's what you need to make the smart bets. Their Best Bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports, and they give you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from point spreads, over-unders, player props. Now, if you don't want to use their model, prefer to do your own research, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your betting research. These, everything from sharp data, line movement, team summaries, lineups, injuries, breaking news, and even a leaderboard to help you track your own success. I'll tell you what, I did my own research last night. Bet on that fourth quarter, the under as the Suns and Mavericks were tipping off last night. Fourth quarter was just out. It was bonkers. It was nuts. The over hit by about 1 million. I think it was 54.5 going into that fourth quarter. And I was like, oh, no way. This slow-paced game. I'll do my own research here. And I lost. But that was the only one I didn't follow the BetQL model on. Head to the App Store or Google Play Store now and download the BetQL app. It's just that easy. How about our friends over there at Steak and Maine? It's steakandmaine.com. Oh, check them out. This place is fantastic. Whether you like to dine at a more upscale steakhouse or a casual bar and patio, enjoy some great sushi that's freshly prepared, Steak and Maine has it all, including my favorite, the 2-pound tomahawk steak, cooked medium, by the way, for the record, cooked medium, with some nice roast potatoes right there, as well as a fine Pinot Noir from Cavada Cellars Wines. You enjoy Pinot Noir, they got it. They got a cab. They got everything. This place is amazing. I always recommend the crab dip. And here's really all you got to know. Not only is it just a great place to hang out, watch a game, have a great dinner, they got a party table in the back as well for big parties. It's a great time. This is what they got. They got the type of atmosphere that you can sit down and enjoy a steak that's rated by not just the Travel Channel, but also the Food Network. How is it rated? As the best place for steaks in America. The carnivorous beasts that live in this country. Well, guess what? Steak and Maine is the place you got to go to. Love Steak and Maine. I'll be there Saturday afternoon, as a matter of fact. Going down my brother-in-law's down to the Balmer area. Driving back. Oh, got to stop at Mum and Pop-Ups. Got to stop at my grandparents' place. They've both recently passed. And not at the same time. My grandma like 2 years and my grandfather almost a year ago. Anyway, I'm going to the house. That's a real downer. Going to the house because I got to look around. I got to do the final tour. That'll be a thing. I lived in that house for a year. And I got to go look around. Guess what? I'm going to bring my spirits up with a 2-pound tomahawk steak. I can work a damn sponsor in anything, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that's what I'll be doing. Steak and Maine, steakandmaine.com. Let me tell you about WinView. If you guys don't have the WinView app, let me just ask this question as your friend. What the hell are you doing? All right. Download the WinView app right now. It's the only game where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all. Who's the bigger sports fan? If you have friends and family, you think they know everything, challenge them to a WinView contest and see if they can walk the walk as well as they talk the talk. If you want to break up the monotony of family dinners and get-togethers, Thanksgiving, play a little quarter of Monday Night Football, maybe Sunday Night Football, maybe Thursday Night Football, obviously, with all the Thursday games going on. It's the perfect way to add a little extra layer of competition, by the way, to your fantasy football league, whether you're tracking the games on Sunday or whatever it might be. Maybe your team's not killing it too much with your fantasy football league. Challenge somebody in your league to a win view contest and have yourself some fun. It's a social gaming app where you can win real money prizes for making predictions on the games that you love. So make sure you guys check out the WinView app. Also, let's not forget about our friends at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience. Let's jump into our social media check-in, brought to you by Steak and Main at steakandmain.com. You guys are off the charts. Off the charts today. See if I can do this here and give you guys the love that you so deserve. Here we go. Let's start it off here. And pots and pans. What the hell's wrong with this thing? There we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Cecil. Good morning, Mr. Snuffy. Good morning, April. Good morning, Alyssa. Mopar, nice shirt. Thank you, Mopar. I appreciate you. Had you in mind when I picked this out this morning. I was like, you know what? Let me change it around. Let me change it up a little bit. So I gave you what some of the OG chatters would refer to as my emo shirt. I know emo is mostly like wearing black and stuff. And I do wear my share of black. Is gray big emo deal? I don't know. I will say this particular gray shirt, you've probably noticed, bit of a plunging neckline. Like, should I button that one? Should I go right there? Or should I just say, hey, you know what? Good morning, folks. Welcome to the show. Have a seat. Big Play Slay thinks he's Mr. Sexy. I beg to differ. This is just how I do. Welcome to the party, pal. Anyway, did that get weird? Get a little weird. We need an hour of farsiness in our lives. Another hour. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dan Schwartz, Mopar, hoping for Serena Winters Part 2. Good morning, Farzy and others. I haven't yet addressed John. What's happening, John? John, you have a pinned comment. Farzy show. You humiliated me. That is PJ was explaining this to me. I'll give full credit because I didn't know what the hell that was. I want my wet the toothin'. That is, I was like, is that a Mike Tyson line? And it's not. It's somebody else with a lisp. That is Shannon Sharp. I don't know what I did to humiliate you, John Cheeseborough, but whatever it is, I'm sorry because I really enjoy your interaction. Ryan says good morning. Good morning, Ryan. What's popping? Mopar, another. That's very nice. Mr. Snuffy. Oh, nice. Zach Berman. Zach Berman's pretty awesome. Zach is one of the nicest human beings you could ever meet on the face of the planet. He's just a great guy. Just really, really good dude. Really enjoy my conversations with Zach, both with a microphone or a camera and away from it. Fuji, what's up, Fuji? Good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Am I like yesterday, Wednesday, had a Thursday feel to it. Like I hate when that happens for whatever reason. Your internal clock it's crazy, and I thought yesterday was like Thursday. Every other time I was like, "What day is it?" Oh, it's Thursday. I was like, "No, damn it, it's Wednesday." It's one of those things. Plus, when you do an early show, every day is 2 days. Is the way I like to explain that to people. Every day is 2 days. So it's like, well, the minute I wrap at 7, and hopefully in the not too distant future, when I wrap at 8, hopefully when that happens, you're immediately thinking about the next show. Like, boom. Like a lot of people, like when they're done their 9 to 5 or whatever, they go home and they're like, oh, that day's done. Oh, thank goodness. And then they relax. It's always the wheels are always turning, unfortunately. They might be rusty, but they're turning. Let's see what else we have. Mopar Snuffy, Ryan. April, hello again. John says, I hope all your inner monologue is voiced by Shannon Sharp and all you hear is this. I don't even know how to pronounce any of that. Like the nickname, JC, hopefully the surprise is a Harry Mays interview. No, it wasn't. It was just more Darius Slay. It was more Big Sexy or whatever, Mr. Sexy. There's a Mopar and John. I really gotta say, I enjoy the interaction used to have with one another. It is pretty funny. Rob, good morning to you. Oh, we're gonna start with Barnettisms again. Those were really fun. I appreciate that. Cecil, hello again. Fuji's talking about Mike's talking about Charlie Garner and Ricky Waters, Thunder and Lightning. I feel like every Thunder and Lightning combo in football has a good 4 or 5 weeks where they're Thunder and Lightning, and then it just goes away. But hey, I'll take those 4 or 5 weeks with a 3-headed monster that you're gonna have in this backfield. Never enough Barnettisms. Mopar, would a Farzy bobblehead include moving arms, hands? What would it be called? April, Farzy bobblehead would definitely need moving arms and would come with the music box and would come with a music box and a bong. I always lose the music box. Oh, there it is. One more time for the good people. By the way, I interrupt this musical break to tell you Derek Gunn is in Milwaukee right now. And he was just at the Bucks-Lakers game last night, which I won some money on. So there you go. But forget Derek Gunn. There you go. Just because you guys mentioned it, just because April mentioned it. I feel like if we did do a bobblehead, you got to do the hands thing. I know. I'm not. Hi, Jim. Sorry about that. I hit spacebar. Let's bring it back. Just go ahead and give us a wave, so people just don't think we just checked in with somebody randomly. We're having fun here. So what happened for the people just listening to the podcast? I hit spacebar by accident, and that brings in the person that's in the waiting room of our broadcast. So everyone just got a sneak peek of Jim, full hoodie and everything. And I know the Wayfair jokes are coming now. Anyway, the hell was that? Oh yeah, the bobblehead. Yeah, I feel like that would be the only way to do it. I know I have a friend of mine who's a lawyer, and he was always breaking my stones about how I talk with my hands so often. And he's like, you shouldn't do that. It's very distracting and whatever. And I'm like, this is the way I'm trying to distract. I'm trying to distract you away from whatever the hell you're doing in your life that's not as interesting as me. Like stop looking over there. Look over here. That's basically what it is. Plus, there's so much. Here. See, now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so if we did do a bobblehead, it would have to have my moving boobity-beepy arms. Sean, what's happening? Good morning. Cecil, remember Barry Gardner? I do remember Barry Gardner. We have Farzy in a kayak bobblehead. Mally, good morning to you. For those that don't know, I did a show in a kayak some months ago. When the hell was that? It was still a little chilly out. I remember that. But anyway, did a show from a kayak. It's on the YouTube page. You guys can see that if you want. Probably a little bit more of that around the holiday. A week from today is flipping Thanksgiving. What? Anyway, hope you realize how hard it is to type Shannon Sharp sayings. John, we do and we respect it. Ian, what's up, Ian? Good morning. I like this. Ryan is asking Dan Schwartz, an OG of OGs. Dan Schwartz, you're not Dan Schwartzman, are you? I don't even know Dan Schwartzman. I don't think I've ever met Dan Schwartzman. JC, tell people you hope you have the day they deserve. Derek Barnett is the reason MTV only shows 11 billion episodes of Ridiculous every day. I watched Ridiculous maybe 3 times in my life. And when I say I watched it, I mean, I was like flipping around. I was like, oh yeah, this show that's not Tosh. What is that again? And it's always the same. It's always like some guy getting hit in the nuts and the ridiculousness guy going, oh man, that was crazy. Did you see that? And then they cut to some blonde celebrity I've never heard of, and she's like, and then that's the show. I don't get the appeal. Barnett is the reason. Mally, Barnett is the reason I stopped having kids. Could you imagine if just Derek Barnett was just happening to be watching the show today? And it was like, what the hell, man? That was a little much, but not in this chat because it's hilarious. Jeez, what's up, John? April, hello again. Ryan, no, okay. Julian, what's up, Julian? Welcome to the party. Rob, what's popping? Yes, the infamous Dan Schwartz. Evan, what's up, Evan? Good morning to you. Appreciate you. Doop, boop, boop. Lots going on. Just so many topics. I try to get to them all. Show love to everybody. Oh, random Sealski sucks with April and Dan. That's not surprising. Alyssa, hello. Dan Schwartz. Everybody say hi to Alyssa. Not fair that we only harass April with the hellos. I'm sure it's yeah, spread it out, guys. Come on. Ooh, Alyssa, or am I a fraud, Mopar? What? What's happening? Mr. Stuffy, Bo Wolf is a goofy. I'm out. In on Berman. In on Shield. I really like Bo Wolf. I want to get him on the show. I like Bo. Bo is a goofy guy, though. I will say that. Don't forget, Alyssa. Berman is actually... Alyssa, I clip this, and I am literally texting it to Zach Berman. Berman is actually a good-looking dude. Zach Berman is a very handsome man. I can say that. April, I don't drop the censorship hammer except accidentally on you yesterday. Oh, is that what happened yesterday, PJ? Did we accidentally censor April? Did we? Oh, PJ. Here we go. Well, I'm bringing PJ back. Give me that look one more time. PJ, sorry. There you go. Mopar, Alyssa, I just pointed. What the hell is happening here? You guys are too much fun. Really. I really appreciate all this conversation. Marc, what's going on, Marc? How are you? Wow, Snuffy is Farzy competition. Oh, Snuffy's got a podcast. Oh, listen to Snuffy's podcast. I don't give a damn. Go ahead, man. Snuffy's awesome. Farzy the GOAT. Thank you very much, Snuffy. Appreciate you. Mr. Snuffy. Derek Barnett, the reason you forgot your phone when you're going to the bathroom. John, that's probably, like, I feel like good modern day bets to really get at somebody, like a good bet, like the gentleman's bet, whatever. I feel like a good modern day bet, other than using the WinView app, a good modern bet is taking somebody's phone, and they got to go. They got to go into have their me time without a phone. That's a pretty good bet. The other is having somebody step in water with their sock and have a walk around like that for a while. That's another good one. That's really not that modern, but I feel like of all the things we could do, that's a good one that not enough people do. What's going on, everybody? April, hello again. Ray! That's all the NBA. Good for betting, horrible to watch. Ray, you're the best. That comes from watching sports for years and years. T-Bro, how you been? Cody, what's going on? Appreciate all you guys. Yeah. Gross foot is the worst. John, you are correct. Henry, what's going on? Yeah, Farzy getting ready for his OnlyFans after the show. Ryan, maybe you're not wrong. Maybe my show is more than an hour long. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I flip over to another social media platform. Farzy just needs his chest hair and an Italian horn necklace. Full out of Italian. We've had this conversation before. April, I think you called me out on this too. I don't wear the horn because my mom's Polish, and that's not a negative thing. I love that heritage. Mostly Eastern European mutt, to say it respectfully. So I feel like that's 100% Italian thing. I feel like I can't claim that. I feel like that's not for me. I'll make meatballs braciole and the chicken cutlets and the veal cutlets. I'll do all that stuff. Yeah, I'm a practicing Italian. But the horn thing, I feel like I just can't. I feel like I just can't pull that off. I feel like I can't. Yeah. I feel like that's not for me. Thanks to everyone that checked in our social media check-in, brought to you by SteakandMade at SteakandMade.com. Why does Farzy hate being Polish? I don't hate the Polish. Jak trzymasz, daj mi buzi, dziękuję, dobrze, halushki. Yeah, so there you go. Actually, you know what story I never told? No, it's not a story. It's just a statement. My great-grandmother was from Slovakia, okay? Mary was her name. And She worked, literally, this was her job. She was a peasant. She came to America in like 1898, and she was a peasant for some royal family in some castle in Slovakia. And like, I recently found out through getting drunk with one of my uncles at that wedding I was at in Pittsburgh a little while ago, that she believed in werewolves. Like, the kids in the castle wouldn't go into the woods at night because the werewolves would get you. All right. Again, this is like 1890 before she came to America. She was a friend to this family, and she supposedly witnessed an exorcism. So that's fun. Anyway, good times. Slovakia, Maine, or Slovakia. There's a Slovakia, Maine? I don't know. No, Slovakia. She was from, Slovakia. She was from where like some good hockey players come from or something. I don't know. But that's where she came from. Then she came into Baltimore. And then she went from Slovakia to Baltimore. That's a change. But yeah, so there you go. So I have a lot of Eastern European. My mother is Polish. That was a celebrated culture in the house growing up. So I usually just say I'm Italian Polish, but Lithuanian, Slovak, Lithuanian, and Polish. And then my father's Italian. He did the ancestry thing. He did the 23andMe. 97% Southern Italian, which is where his parents were born. So that was easy. And then it was like 2% Greek and like 1% North African, which like everybody's like 1% North African. So there you go. So I'm a mutt. My nose is cold. No horn. All that to tell you this. I don't wear a horn. Anyway, imagine just entering the wire. Brett says, imagine just entering the wire straight off the boat from Slovakia. Who knew? What a culture shock. In home country, fight come to you. Very nice, John. That's our social media brought to you by Steak and Maine at steakandmaine.com. Good time. All this because I have a plunging neckline today. All this because of my plunging neckline. I can see the people on the podcast turning off the podcast just to jump to the YouTube page. Oh, that is a plunging neckline. He wasn't kidding. Gross. Anyway, thanks everyone for checking out our social media check-out brought to you by Steak and Maine at steakandmaine.com. Morning Rush. I'm going to the Flyers game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Very excited for that. Flyers play the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. I would assume Carter Hart's going to be in net. 7:00 puck drop, South Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center. I'm hoping to do a Farzy in the field. We haven't done a Farzy in the field in quite some time, and there's really no better subject to do that on right now, at least I feel, than on the Flyers, because we haven't talked about Flyers yet. And they got a 8-4-1, 8-4-2 record on the season, and they're facing an 8-3-3 team in the Tampa Bay Lightning. So there you go. So that's what we got going on with the Flyers tonight. Lightning 8-3-3, Flyers 8-4-2. 7:00 puck drop against the Lightning. Sixers back in action tonight, 9:00 against the Nuggets. Basically, everybody's still either on COVID or hurt. That's the life we're living in right now. So hopefully it's not a terrible performance by the Sixers tonight. So we hope that they bounce back just fine. That's what I'm going to hope for. Please, dear Lord, let's hope that they bounce back tonight. Tyrese Maxey, please get your over tonight. That'd be nice for me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bryce Harper, hopefully the MVP of the National League. Find that out 6:00 tonight. Michael Jack Schmidt will be presenting that fine trophy, that hardware. Bryce Harper did post on social media last night a shout out to Zach Wheeler for being a runner-up, if you will. How he loved seeing him pitch throughout this year and threw in a brother. He also congratulated Gabe Kapler, I think a man he just refers to as Curveball Machine. And he said, congrats to you as well, brother. And he also congratulated Zach Wheeler last night. So there you go. Ryan, you're very kind. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for listening. If you caught the podcast. Also, thanks to Jim Hyden, who also made guest appearances on the show as well. Jim, thank you. He produced the program, did a fine job. My thanks to Buzz Sports and Entertainment. And, oh, by the way, to everyone checking this out, we got a bunch of new subs yesterday, which I greatly appreciate. Anyone who's a friend of Brendan is a friend of mine. So there you go. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you guys tomorrow after hopefully I'm all flyered up from a fine Flyers and Sixers victory. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow. See ya.